What's going on, drillers? Boy Alejandro Paulino back again with another video. This one is called the glossing tutorial, how to gloss your rifle. Okay, I'm getting a lot of requests for this video, so it's finally coming out. All right. First of all, I'd like to give a few shout outs to Matt Wendling. He's the one who gave me the list and all the step-by-step instructions of how to actually gloss the rifle. So without him, this video wouldn't be possible, and I'd like to just give it back to the drill community. And I want to see what you guys come up with. Okay, so first let's start off with some materials that you're gonna need before you even start off. Okay, so you're gonna need at least 2 or 3 cans of glossifier. Make sure it's for plastics. It could be used for plastics. I use Rustoleum triple thick glaze, and it's quick drying, so I'm pretty impatient anyways. But make sure before you buy this, you're 18 or over, or you have an adult present with you, okay? Because if you're not 18, they won't go to you pretty much. Okay, next I'm going to go through different sandpaper grits that you're going to be needing. First, you're going to be 220. Okay, 220 is going to be kind of your base sanding. So that's the first one you're going to be using, and that's so you can prep the entire rifle. This is when you smooth it all out, make it completely smooth, and just making sure that that you cover the entire rifle except for the inside of it, obviously, and so that the paint can stick as much as possible. Next will be the 600 grit sandpaper. This one is going to be important because you're going to be utilizing this the most out of all the grits, and pretty much you'll be sanding, adding your coals, sanding again, adding your coals, and but I'll show you that process later. But pretty much that's so it can stick, the paint can stick to the rifle. Now these next 3 are 2000 grit, 2500 grit, and a 5000 or 4000 grit sandpaper. The reason for these are the finishers. They're not as rough as of the 220. But they're for like the shining portion of it. And all of these grits you can get at any Pep Boys or auto body detailed shop. You can't find them at Home Depot or Lowe's like you can with the spray. But if you can find them at Pep Boys or one of those shops, or even online, that'd be great. But if you try to look for them at Lowe's, these higher grits right here, you won't find them. And lastly, a microfiber towel, and this is for the last portion when you're going to be buffering the rifle and make it look all shiny and stuff. So without further ado, let us go on to the next scene and let's get started. Alright guys, here I just sanded down my smokestack. As you can tell, it's pretty much ruined, what it looks like ruined, but it's not. The 220 grit that you're going to be using, make sure you see completely even, even all the way around, and you're going to have these dark marks that are going to show up, which is fine. Just try to get them out as best as possible. So pretty much this is the longer you spend on it on the rifle, the better it's going to look. So the more time you spend sanding and making sure the coats are right, the better you're off. Also, from the factory, the stocks come with these sharp edges. Make sure you sand those down so that when you are done completely, it won't hurt you. Alright guys, after you've done the 220 sanding completely, nice and smooth and ready to go, you're gonna grab the 600 now. Alright, let me show you right here, the 600. And you're gonna do the same process again, okay? This one you won't have to be as tedious as you were with the 220, but make sure you cover the entire rifle, especially the handguard. Don't forget the handguard, and yeah, just do nice even. Let me get a good grip. Nice even strokes, okay? Making sure you cover the entire rifle, and you'll start seeing it change, slightly a little, but you're getting it ready for the actual spraying process. Now, quick note, if you do get sandpaper, they are pretty expensive, so this is for you guys to save money. If you get a full sheet, don't utilize that entire sheet. Cut it up into four squares, and get one square. You could use one square for the entire rifle, okay? And if you need a fresh square, just grab another one. But just be plentiful with these squares, because they are expensive. But one square can last you a while, so just remember that, okay? So after you're done with the 600, sanding with the 600, I'll see you in the next clip for the actual glossing process. Alright guys, we are here at the most important step, which is the glossing process, okay? Now make sure before you even start glossing, you shake it up for a good minute and a half, so that you get it nice and loose and ready to go, okay? Now make sure you're outside as well. You don't want to be inside, because if you do it in your garage or even in your house, it will stick up your garage for a few days, so just be wary of that. So make sure follow the instructions on the can, but just a good you want to be at least this much distance away. I don't know how much the inches or whatnot, but you want to be this much away, and you want to do even coats, okay? You don't want to just cake it on, because you're going to be doing 12-15 coats of this glossifier, okay? So remember that, be patient with it. So and don't just blast it on there, because I made that mistake with my last rifle. So you want to do nice even coats. All the way around. Or nice even sprays, I'm sorry. Don't forget the butt plate. Or the bottom of the stock, I'm sorry. Flip it around. One more go. Flip it one more time. Alright, and that's it for the first coat, okay? Now, what the whole process of what I was taught is, you want to do your first 3 coats, okay? But for each coat, let it dry. So I'm going to let this dry, then add another coat, let that coat dry, add a third coat, let that third coat dry, and then I'm going to hit it back again with the 600 grit sandpaper, okay? Sounds weird, but it's so that the paint really sticks onto it and you get as many coats as possible, okay? So remember, 600 grit, so when you start off, you're going to sand it down with the 600, 3 coats, make sure each coat dries, and then hit it right back with 600 again. 600, 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat, 600, 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat, and repeat until you reach the amount of coats that you feel that comfortable. So I would say anything more than 15 is kind of overdoing it, but that's completely up to you, depending on if you want to experiment how shiny you want it or glossy you want it. But for me, I go with 15 coats, and it'll make it look shiny. But I will see you guys in the next clip, and which would be pretty much the final detailing process, okay? Alright guys, welcome back. Here I have my looks to be finished stock right here, as you can tell. I don't know if you can see the nice shine, everything. This is about 12 coats of the glossifier. Pretty much I went through almost the entire can. There's only a little bit left, but that's what you'll be expecting when you're doing this, okay? Now the next portion, it's gonna kind of be hard to do, because you're going to be scratching it with your next upcoming sandpaper. So you're going to start off with, so once you've applied all the coats you wanted, right, you're going to go back with it with the 600 and sand it all the way down with the 600, okay? Now it is going to scratch it, but don't worry. You're not damaging it. Okay, you just keep going and make sure you cover the entire rifle. Then you're gonna go over it with 2,000, then 2,500, and then finally your 4,000 or 5,000 grip. Okay, and at that portion, once you get to that part, it'll start, coming to life and getting a nice shine. Now, with the last rifle I did, it did not turn out, this shiny. It turned out more of glassy kind of look. So don't be shocked if it gets a little duller than this. This will protect it from fingerprints and being much too sticky. Okay, so right now it might look like you don't want to mess it up. I don't want to touch it. Just put it together and drill. But if I continue doing it with this, then my fingerprints will show up, and the paint might melt. So with the polishing, it's just gonna make it come to light and make it last a lot longer. Okay, and I'll show you why it's so much beneficial to do this portion than to just leave it like this. Okay. Alright guys, here we are, finished product here. Now I'm happy about how it turned out. So basically, from the last video you saw me, it wasn't fully done. At that video it had 12 coats on. And so I did the process 2,000, 2,500, and then 5,000, right? And made sure, and it came out a little duller than I wanted it. So hit it back with 600 lightly, 600, and then I did 2 or 3 light coats of the spray, and I let that dry. And luckily I didn't have to hit it back with these coats at all, because it just felt right. And I mean, there are going to be some finger marks that you're going to see. But that you can't see that through camera, and you would really have to look up to your rifle to see them. Luckily I have this kind of stock. It's a smoke stock, so fingerprints you won't even see them honestly unless you really try to look for them. I have a stock over there. It's a all black stock. Now that stock is a tad bit different, because with the black, you're gonna be able to see the fingerprints a little more. But with this one, since it's so multicolored, and probably with you drillers, you have multicolored rifles, those fingerprints aren't even gonna show up. So once I let it fully dry, I just got a rag and just went over it a little bit. And the great thing about it is I had some fingerprint marks here. So all I did was grab the rag and apply some good pressure onto those fingerprint marks, and they disappeared and the shine stays. So yeah, hopefully this tutorial helps you guys. I know I'm going really in depth and I'm talking a lot in it, but it's the only way I can really explain how to do this process. So on the last note, let's go through some steps. I'll go through the steps in the next clip, alright, so I'm not blabbering. Alright guys, that concludes the glossing tutorial. Let me go down a few steps. I'll be here editing the video as we speak. So, first step, you're gonna get 220, make sure you cover the entire rifle, make sure you sand it perfectly, and just get every nook and cranny down, make it smooth as possible. Second, get the 600 grit sandpaper, and you're gonna go over it again, not too tedious, but make sure do the same process 220. Then you're gonna start your spraying process. You're gonna spray one coat, let it dry, spray the second coat, let it dry, spray the third coat, let it dry, and then hit it back with the 600 grit sandpaper. And you're gonna repeat this process until you reach however many layers of gloss you want. I personally did 12 to start off with. Then I did the finishing process, and then I didn't like the way it looked. It was too dull. So then I hit it back with 600 again, just very lightly. Sprayed it with 1 or 2 coats, or even 3, to make it 15 coats. And then I just let it sit there. I just let it sit there and dry.
and once it was dry, I went over it with a microfiber towel, and it was fine. You will notice some fingerprints, which is totally fine. Those can be rubbed out. But overall, the rifle looks great. So hopefully this helps you guys. Um, Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Show me what you got on IG, on Facebook. You know, send me some pictures of your results. I'd love to see them. But if you have any other questions, hit me up on those 2 social media accounts. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much. Peace.